You think I follow you everywhere because I'm needy, because I can't let you breathe, because I'm nosy, because I want food, because I have nothing better to do than trail you from the couch to the kitchen, from the kitchen to the hallway, from the hallway all the way to the bathroom. You laugh about it, you call me your little shadow, your Velcro dog, your clingy baby, but that's not what it feels like from where I stand. Because when I get up and follow you, I'm not just wandering behind you. I'm doing something that feels ancient in my body, something older than your house, older than your routines, older than the leash hanging by the door. And if you understand what it really means, you'll stop seeing me as clingy and start seeing what I've been trying to tell you all along. Because sometimes when I follow you, it means trust. Sometimes it means responsibility. Sometimes it means I think keeping you in sight is part of my job. And sometimes it means something is wrong. That's the part most people miss. You see me lift my head when you stand up. You see me leave my warm spot on the rug. You see me padding after you while you carry laundry, open cabinets, brush your teeth, or walk to another room. It looks small, but to me, it isn't small at all. Because a long time ago, dogs like me didn't live in houses. We lived by staying close, by moving together, by knowing where the others were. Distance could mean danger. Separation could mean vulnerability. Staying with your group meant survival. So even now, even with full food bowls and soft beds, part of me still feels safest when I know where you are. That's why sometimes when you get up, I get up too. Not because I think every trip to the kitchen ends with a snack, but because in my world, the important ones don't just disappear from sight, and to me, you are one of the important ones. You may think I'm just following movement, but that's not always true. Sometimes I follow you because you are the center of the map. Where you go matters. If you walk into the hallway, I want to know. If you go into another room, I want to check it. Not dramatically, not loudly, just quietly. Like it's the most natural thing in the world. Because to me, it is. Sometimes I'm not just following you. Sometimes I'm watching over you, your scout, your partner, your little bodyguard. When you move into a new room, I often look first. I scan. I pause. I check the space before settling down again. To you, it's just the living room. To me, it's a new environment, a new angle, a new place to read. I'm not thinking in words, it's deeper than that. It's instinct becoming habit, attachment becoming behavior, love becoming movement. Every time I followed you, what happened? You looked down at me, you smiled, you said my name, you touched my head. Tiny moments, tiny rewards, tiny pieces of connection. But to me, they were not tiny at all. They were proof. Proof that your attention can be found in your orbit. So yes, part of this behavior may be old instinct, but part of it is also something you built with me, little by little, day after day. You made being near you feel good, safe, warm, worth it. And I learned. I learned that if I walk behind you, sometimes I get a glance, a word, a touch. But now we need to talk about the part that is harder to hear. Because not every dog who follows is simply loyal. Not every shadow is calm. Not every close bond is healthy. And this is where you need to look carefully. When I follow you in a calm way, what do I look like? My body is soft, my breathing is normal, my steps are easy. That version is not a crisis. That version is often trust, bond, habit, attachment. But there is another version, and that version does not feel soft at all. Maybe you close the bathroom door, and I start pacing. Maybe I whine. Maybe I pant. Maybe I scratch. Maybe I press my nose under the gap. That is not, I just love you so much. That is, I don't know how to feel safe when I lose access to you. And that difference matters more than most people realize, because one dog is following you with a regulated nervous system. The other dog is following you because distance itself feels unbearable. One is connected, the other is distressed. And if that happens, please don't romanticize it. Don't call it devotion. Because panic is not a love language, it's suffering. They need help, slow help, gentle help. A way to learn that separation can happen without danger. When I follow you, I am not always saying the same thing. Sometimes I'm saying, you matter to me. I feel safest near you. Sometimes I'm saying, I've made you the center of my world. Sometimes I don't know how to cope without you. So the next time I follow you, don't just laugh. Look closer. Ask what my body is telling you. I may be following you because I love you, or because I'm afraid of losing you. If you understand that, you'll understand me a lot better.